This is the School Success Podcast, a podcast for school leaders to learn from other school leaders what's working and what's not, and to get inspiration and encouragement, as well as strategies to grow school enrollment, connect with families, retain teachers, recruit teachers, and everything in between. You guys are heroes, and I cannot thank you enough for pouring into this next generation that's coming behind us. My goal is you will take at least one thing away from every episode that you can take back to your school to make it better than it is right now. Please enjoy the School Success Podcast. Hey, School Success Makers. Welcome to another edition of the School Success Podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Slater, and this is going to be the final week of our mini marketing series as we help you prepare for re-enrollment and enrollment season for the fall of 2024. As I know, most of our clients and the schools we're talking to are right in the middle of it. So we just want to make sure we're giving you guys some tips, some strategies that you guys can implement and use to help your school get ready to fill all those empty seats that you have and get a waiting list. If you guys have not listened to the previous 4 episodes in this mini series, please go back and listen to those because they do all build off of each other. This one could more so stand alone than any of the other ones, but they all help you if you had all the way through week 1 through 5. Week 1 was just talking about your website, a couple things you can add there, like a clear call to action, some different things on that one. Second one was all about having a lead generator on your website, something that people can opt into and download, and you get their contact information for it. Third one was building out a funnel, like follow-up sequences that are automated. So if somebody does something, they're automatically going to get these 5 messages or these 3 things that are going to get sent to them on that one. Last week's was all about scheduling a tour booking for digitally. So not just saying, hey, people can call and schedule a tour. We want to make sure that they can do it digitally. And we talk about all that in that episode. Hey, School Success Makers, just a really quick break from the episode to highlight our amazing sponsors over at America's Christian Credit Union. They are celebrating 65 years of service this year, and they provide essential school banking services and a tuition financing program for schools looking to reduce their risk and administrative burden. And you guys can find out all about them on their website, americaschristiancu.com/schools. That's americaschristiancu.com/schools. They are amazing over there, and I always like to say, if you're a school that collects tuition and you have a hard time collecting all of tuition at the end of the year, maybe it comes around May, June, you're like, man, we only got collected 95 or 98% of what tuition was owed to our school. One of the things you can do is have your parents get a tuition financing loan through the credit union, and then they pay the credit union directly, and you get your funds up front at the beginning of the year as the school. So you don't have to chase people throughout the year, and you can focus on what you do best, and that is loving and educating your students. And it doesn't cost your school anything to do it. So check them out online, americaschristiancu.com/schools. All right, back to the show. And then for this final one for this mini series, unless I suddenly decide to have like more episodes, but I think I'm going to end it with this one for the mini episodes, is I want you guys to put yourself in your prospects, so these families that are potentially going to enroll, and think about what does your school look like to them, okay? Now, we'll dissect this a little bit, but we're worried about our online presence, of course. We want to make sure we look good online. Let's say we win them there. They're excited. They're going to come in for that school tour. They scheduled their tour. They're stoked. They come in and they can't find you because everything's overgrown and the sign's not lit up, or you don't have a sign, or the logo's really old and outdated and it doesn't look good. But they're driving by and the grass is all overgrown over the road and over the sign, and it just looks like you don't really care about the landscape of your school. Like, that's a problem. So we're going to be talking about stuff like that. Like, think about what does your school look like to somebody from the outside? If you were to have somebody over at your home for the first time, think about how you prepare your house to have them over. Typically, you want to make sure it looks presentable. You're having guests. You want to make sure they feel welcomed, they feel at home, and that you want to show them a house that's clean and it's presentable and you something you can be proud of. So they're coming over, you're cleaning. You want to make sure that the dishes are done and there's not things all over the counter and clutter everywhere. You want to be presentable because you want them to feel welcomed and not stressed when they're in your home and there's chaos going on. Well, guys, the same thing's happening here at your school, and you want to make sure that that is not the case that's happening when they come to your school. So think about that. Somebody pulls up. So picture your school as I'm talking through this. Picture your school right now. Somebody's driving on the road and they're having a hard time finding you. Maybe the map link is wrong on Google and it's on the other side of the road. And so they think you're on the left side, but you're on the right side. Or they go to pull in and it's just you haven't trimmed the grass in a while, or maybe you're in a winter state and there's snow and it's not plowed recently. It's icy, you didn't put gravel down. So it's like, it's dangerous for people. Okay, all these little things. And maybe the parking's crazy because maybe you guys haven't done anything with like painting lines and they're like, where do I park? Okay. But signage is a big one. I know I've seen schools where people have said, oh, we've been here for 30 years and nobody knows where we are. That's a problem. Like, you don't want that. That is costing you tens of thousands of dollars to make sure to have people not know where you are. So you want to make sure you are fixing that so they can find you. So, okay, they pull in, they find you. Whoof, they pull in, they find you. And the school has like mold on the roof on top of the shingles, or they're missing a whole bunch of shingles, or it hasn't been painted in over 10 or 15 years and the paint is faded. Like, that doesn't look very presentable. Do I want to be, paying to enroll here? Or do I want to be a part of this school? All these things psychologically going through a family's mind as they pull in and they're walking up. Okay. Now, as they're walking up, they see, the light bulb's out. Like, it's the parking lot's dark. The light's not on at the front door. They walk in, they're not welcomed by anybody. Like, nobody's saying, hey, welcome, how can I help you? Or expecting that they're going to be there and saying, hi, are you guys the Smith family? We are so glad that you're here. Let me introduce you to the head of school so-and-so. Okay. Like, are you greeting people nicely? Are you making sure that they feel welcomed and at home? And when they walk in, okay, so again, I mentioned the light bulb. Are there light bulbs that are just out throughout the school, like that need to be replaced? Are there dirty tiles at the top of the ceiling that have water damage? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? The ones that are like brown, you're like, oh, there was a leak, or there is an active leak right there, okay? That's a problem. You got to get it fixed. And they get there and they're like, actually, I need to go to the bathroom real quick before we get started. And the bathroom's smelly and it's not clean. Like, all these things that you think about, your first impression is a big one. It's why I'm so passionate about the online presence for these schools. That is your true first impression, because they're going to go see what you look like online. And if you can't wow them there, you're not going to be able to even get them to come to your school in person to wow them there. So you need to do it in both areas. Online can only do so much, because if they come in and you are like a fraud and lied the whole time, you're like, well, this is not what it was on the website. Well, there's only so much the website and online presence can do. So they walk in, okay, they go to the bathroom, cool. They come back and maybe they're thirsty. Oh, we don't have any refreshments. May have some refreshments. Like, have them feel welcome when they come in here. Here's a soda, here's a coffee, here's a water bottle, like something. Like, how are you presenting that? Do they feel, again, welcomed and a part of it? Please know their name. If they've scheduled online and they've like, someone go, oh, you guys are, what is your name? Oh, nice to meet you, Tim. Oh, and oh, okay, Pam, nice to meet you guys. Not go, I'd rather you guys go up and say, Tim, Pam, correct? Man, I'm so excited to have you guys here. I'm looking forward to having your son. What is it, Trevor? Oh, great, Trevor. God, make them feel so welcome, so at home, or they know, man, these people know me. They took the time to look at who scheduled this tour to come in for this. Okay, and they're going through the tour. Now make sure, again, things that come into mind, it's clean. Have you had the school clean? Are the floors clean? Has it been vacuumed? Are the windows clean? Are there smudges all over the windows? Now, guys, I know you're running a school, and it's hard to keep a school clean when you got kids running all over the place, okay? But I think people can tell the difference between, oh, that was probably just made by a kid in the last day, or they haven't cleaned the school in months, okay? You can see where it makes a difference. Okay. Is there clutter everywhere? Has it been recently painted? Okay. All of this is like, how do you want people to remember that first time they walk through the doors? Are they going to walk in and go, oh my goodness, like they are orderly. They care about presentation. They're clean. Like, if they care about that much about their buildings, how much are they also going to care about my student and my child? Okay. All of that goes into play. And I want to make sure you guys are paying attention and you're focusing on that. Okay. Hey, school success makers, just a really quick break to highlight one of our amazing sponsors, and that is ClassReach. Now, ClassReach supports schools of all sizes from application to graduation. Take charge of your school with ease,
power and mobility using ClassReach, the school management software administrators and teachers love using. You can get your free demo at classreach.com. That's classreach.com. They are amazing people, and they provide this amazing SIS software for you to keep track of your students' grades, communicating with families that are enrolled, and a whole bunch more. So again, check it all out on their website, classreach.com. They are awesome. All right, now back to the show.
And then if they get done with the tour, of course, asking them if they have any questions, but then making sure that you follow up properly. Like, hey, I'm going to send you this today. And you can use, again, software and automations to send them information about your school about your school. And like if they want to apply or not, maybe it's a digital application, but obviously actually do what you said you were going to do. But more than anything, guys, just making sure your building is presentable and they feel at home when they go in there. Now, I know this is hard to do, putting yourself on the other side. I tell clients this regularly, even just like using their website as the example when I'm talking about this one. It's like, hey, picture your prospective family looking at your website. That's really, really hard for people to do. It's actually really hard for me to do when I look at my own internal marketing for the companies and the subsidiaries that we own and manage. Like it is hard because I see it every day and I've been a part of it for a long time. So it's actually better for me to bring somebody from the outside inside and say, hey, what do you think about this? Say, please be honest. Only bring in people that are going to be honest with you, not the ones that are going to lie to you and say, oh, it looks fantastic. It's great. Okay. Bring in these people. Say, hey, can you please tell me what you think of our website? Can you please tell me what you think about our school building and facility? Okay. Bring outside people, not people a part of the school. Heck, maybe people don't even know about your school. They're friends with you. They know you work at a school. Use them. Okay. Say, hey, can I borrow you? I want to buy you a cup of coffee for the day. I want you to tell me what your experience is coming in for a fake school tour. Okay. Finding the building. How does it look outside? I want them to literally give you all that feedback, because if it's coming from somebody like that, it has a lot of weight to it because they could be a prospective family for you. All right. And you're using your imagination. Okay. So find somebody, if you need help with this and you feel like you can't do it effectively on your own, find somebody that you can buy them a cup of coffee and have them give you their opinion on what their opinion was on the school, how clean it was, how it looked, presentable, all of that. It'll be so incredibly worth it, because you're talking about, I'm telling you, probably, if you haven't paid attention to this before, lost tens of thousands of dollars in lost revenue from families wanting to come to you, potentially wanting to go to your school, and there was a huge turnoff because something there was missing. You can pay $5 for somebody's cup of coffee to come in and see if they could give you something that would tweak it, and boom, you're good to go, and you're ready for enrollment season. Okay. Don't let something so simple and so easily fixable keep people from going to your school this school year. Okay. That is it for today's episode. Whew. It was a fun mini series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have, again, we have 3 great free resources for you. The podcast, of course, being one of them. If you love this and this is helpful, please send it to other school leaders that you know, or people that maybe have a school that they're trying to prepare for enrollment season and they need to see this episode or hear this episode. Please send it over to them. And if you love the content, we would love a 5-star review from you, just sharing your feedback on what you thought of the episode. And if you're not yet having community in your life, obviously your community from maybe your neighbors, your church, maybe your school community. But if you need some more, man, we have a great school community inside of our private Facebook group called School Success Makers. We would love to see you guys in that group. I'm personally in there. Would love to see you in there as well. Go join that and start the conversation. And then the other one and last one is on our website, schoolsuccessmakers.com. You can sign up for our school success report in the top right-hand corner. It gets emailed out weekly to all of our subscribers. And it just gives out, we have a teacher shout outs. We have some tips, tricks, and different articles that the team and I have written that we want to make sure you guys have in your back pocket to read. We're going to have some other fun stuff we're going to do with the report. So make sure you're signed up and getting that every single week when that goes out. And we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We just love that you are serving these students. You're pouring into these students, and we want to make sure your school is full and bursting at the seams. So if you need help with that, reach out to us. Let us know. Schoolsuccessmakers.com. We're here to help you. And we'll be back here next week with we should be back to regular guests. So another awesome guest on the School Success Podcast. We'll see you then.